water while I'm out there. Okay. Well, first off,
A covert operative returning home.
we'll play a
Retired
little
from
bit on I
corporate.
don't know here. And we're gonna be playing, hold on, before I talk too much. Okay, no, I am indeed live. So, while I'm waiting for my buddy Thomas to get off, and we'll talk a little bit more about some Borderlands stuff before he goes. I can hit him a... Oh, headset was cutting out. Apparently I was getting too far away. I'll give him little updates and stuff.
Hello, traveler.
Sorry about that, everyone. I forgot to get my water. So one of the first things that I would like to talk about from the PAX thing is that they did this hilarious little trick that I would like to know people's opinion on. I'll talk about it more later with Randy Pitchford if we get some more viewers in here before Thomas gets home. But basically he did this little thing that I'm going to call a magic trick because I feel like he manipulated the crowd a bit there to get the number that he wanted, because there's no way that that guy out of 100 possible abilities had the 1% chance, you know, to frickin' pick the t-shirt that had the code on it for everybody instead of getting a free copy of Borderlands 4 early. Right? I know that was a big old troll, had to be, personally, but we'll talk about that a little more later. But what happened is we got a code that gives you 75 golden keys across all Borderlands games and Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which I count as a Borderlands game personally, even though it doesn't say Borderlands, and 20 diamond keys for Borderlands 3. Which, after I load in, I can go into my mail and show you I had, I believe, 12 diamond keys before. So I should be at 32 now. Unless I'm just misremembering the number of diamond keys that I have. Oh no, I was pressing the right button. I don't know why I kept changing that. Lay mail. Got a lot of crap to grab from like Hyperion and stuff. Yep, 32 diamond keys. And that code is in my freaking post section on my channel, by the way, on the t-shirt. I also put it in with the hyphens, so you guys should be able to copy paste it, I believe, hopefully. YouTube agrees with you. I know I was having trouble earlier copy and pasting it for myself, but I did manage to get it done. I should have just copied it while I was typing. I totally forgot to go get the new craft that I got for this character. Oh no, I got one of them. That worked out.
Fascination on the house.
Okay, so for some reason I can't make my clone right there.
Decoy, deploy.
My preferred mode. Personally.
You passed the first gate, Maurice, but your pal's not here.
Claw your way further, Vault Hunter. The air is heavy with his beer.
Just begging for a better.
Gonna need help, Top. Yeah.
You guys hush, lay down.
I say.
Bullets for you, and bullets for you. Everybody gets bullets.
Perp identified.
Another bloody gate. Ah!
For real, every
We're
time
going
I
to
come
fancy
here.
house, and if I see one more gate in there, I'm liable to shoot somebody. More than usual.
The mansion. They cower within like hatchlings clinging to egg scraps. Knock it down.
I love doing that shit with my phone.
You get a death
It's been a while since I've made a build with a clone on it. My very first build
Are you
was
serious?
using the
Open
clone
your bloody
and the
eyes!
Symphony. And it was definitely a speed and power build. I used the Sonic Boom Infiltrator for my class mods. Every time I would activate my
You'll want to think
action
twice next
skills,
time.
my shield would explode and I would be super fast. And this was pre the first Flacker nerf. So I was destroying everything on the map with Flacker bombs at super high speeds. People wouldn't even see me. All they'd see was explosions. There's a couple times though I did accidentally take myself out with my action, or not my action skill, but my speed, where I couldn't stop in time because I was going so fast, so I'd slide off the map on like Athenas and stuff if I wasn't careful.
Maurice, I'm in the fancy house, looking at a very
But also
fancy
pre-nerf
fountain.
to
I wonder what the resale value is.
violent momentum, so you could just keep stacking that shit up, and I could get so damn fast.
Complete the
It
fountain.
was insane.
Your path will be clear.
Let's see if the puzzle's nice to me this time.
Let's go around with that basket. The missing piece of the fountain cannot be far. Sniff it out, quickly.
You got a death wish?
haven't been in the fight this whole time. That was a vital part.
They'll be singing. Trigger fingers getting tired of
Lighten them up.
Well, I get you.
Huh. I think this is the first time I've seen him drop a face puncher. Guess I could use it to make an old face puncher for my
Good.
Maybe I want to focus more on the gun damage from the orb there.
Return to the fountain with the fragment.
So here's the thing, right? I'm actually kind of confused on how this works. Oh wow, I've been looking at this wrong the whole time. These whole last times I did it, I was trying to do it wrong. It's where the gold thingies are. Okay, so... triangle should be 4. Square should be 5, and circle should be 3.
Ooh,
Also,
a puzzle.
hello and welcome. We'll
Where
talk about
there's
our
puzzles, there's loot.
PAX stuff once we get a few more people in here. We saw a lot of good things at PAX. I obviously was not live if you saw my posts earlier, but I did catch it about 30 to 40 minutes after it started and rewound that crap, and I got the whole thing in. They talked about, it was mostly like a Q&A section. So we got square, square, triangle, square. So, hey, what's up, Farrah? So 5, 5, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ha! Nobody, but nobody
Puzzle solved.
out-puzzles Zenby. Eat your heart out, puzzle.
And actually, last time I was here, I forgot how to do the puzzle, but when I was looking at it just now, it clicked. How are you, Farron? Have you been having fun with, what would you have, like a family reunion or whatever it was? Whatever your family happens to call it? It's been long. It's kind of tiring at first. I had to take me some moments to get myself in the zone. Took me quite a bit longer today to get in, but then I had a good rival stream. I was going to stream way earlier today, but as soon as I got myself into a position where I felt like I was good to go for streaming, I noticed that the PAX East was live for Gearbox, so I went ahead and rewound that to the beginning and watched it. So anyway, for this puzzle, you got this little triangle shape, this little square shape, and this little circle shape, and then each one has 3 boxes above it. Right, those boxes represent the numbers on a number pad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wherever the gold little thingy is on the bookshelf is the corresponding number. So currently, triangle is 4, square is 5, and circle is 3. That changes every time you come here. And you get that little hidden iridium room. I like to open that every time I come in. This is also another good place to farm iridium. If you didn't want to have to do that whole thing, give you a little action, get some fighting and some iridium. Woo.
Back away.
So I think I might have been sold on Vex at watching the packs. So they revealed her third action skill, right? And so what it does is it allows her to summon ghost versions of herself. One called a Reaper and one called a Spectre. So what the Reaper does is a floating ghost version of herself that has a scythe and it taunts enemies. So it's a tank. And I'm assuming it's going to have bulkier health than the other one because they specifically described it as doing high damage but having low health. Which is the Spectre, which is a ghost version of herself that has, you know, appears to be a random gun, and they did drop that there are legendary enhancement thing or class mods that you can equip to her that will actually give your items to your Spectre and your Reaper. So I'm very curious how that's going to work, and I think she's going to be my first character that I play, possibly. I know I'm going to play all of them, but she's going to definitely be my first solo character, and I think for groups I'm going to play Rafa first. But also, I'm really interested in all of the Bolt Hunters. Rafa, you know, he's got all of his little tech and exosuits, gun stuff. They said he was going to be a fast character, so obviously, Zane's my favorite character in this game. He's probably going to take the cake with that speed, because let's be real, the reason why Zane is my favorite is because of that speed.
Shoot more!
And then they talked a little more about Harlow and like how she decided to take a different approach than her Trant family relatives. You know, a little more scientific. Master of Gravity. And they said there's a lot more gadgets we've yet to see, just from what we've seen so far though. She's got like this cannon thing that shoots like a big disco ball that passes through enemies and explodes on contact with objects. And then she's got what looks like a phase lock / phase grasp style orb thing. And then Amon, he's really cool. So, you know, his family used to work, his whole clan, he was like a cult that worked with Vault monsters. And when the Vault was released, it killed everybody but him, and he turned himself into a literal living weapon. Those drones you see that make up his action skills and stuff, give me a second while I finish talking here, they actually come from his spinal cord. And they're his little forge drones, and they revealed, besides the shield, whip, axes, and stuff that we've seen so far, he actually has a spear and a sword as well.
Run! Be distracting, will ya?
And they described him as like a sci-fi Viking, which I thought was pretty interesting. So I'm definitely excited for all 4 of these Vault Hunters so far. They answered a lot of Q&A questions, like we have confirmed dedicated drops. Oh, hey, Rod! What's up, bro? You want me to start a party, man? Let me get in here and have some conversations. I'll talk to you in a minute. I keep seeing you on Apex. How's the Apex been going?
Hang on! Quick reload!
Oh, bro, nuke my clone.
But for you, I'll make it exceptional.
New season's pretty lit. What's going on in the new season?
I'm a legitimate businessman!
There you are, buddy. There you are. alone there.
I like that.
That's alright, I think you saved me. Alright, bro. Shouldn't be too much longer. As you can see, I am tearing Joey a new one.
It is done, and Maurice is safe. For now. Return to Maurice.
Hold on, guys. I'm gonna make a party real quick. Wrong thing. What is up? Got red up in here.
Yo, yo.
I'm referring to my friend Tina. We're gonna be doing some Phasmo later with her and my friend Thomas. Those are some of my real life friends I've known for a while. Haven't played any games with them in a long time, and then we just started getting back together for Phasmophobia randomly. How are you, Red? What's going on with your new season of Apex? We can do a little Apex talk too. Also got more stuff to talk about from at PAX with Borderlands 4. I don't know how much of that you caught.
Every time I let somebody in, they
It's
stop
been
me
going
at the
pretty
back.
good on here. Besides, since it's the new season,
Being a dinosaur and all.
I've been like
Guess
blue
I
screening
was
like crazy.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, last season I wasn't even blue screening at all, but now this season, oh my god.
Oh yeah, so they're slowly phasing out the PlayStation 4 on that one too, huh? Gonna over freaking haul it too much and it won't be able to handle it.
Yeah. And then my birthday is the 27th.
Oh, this month?
Yeah, I'll be turning 27.
Oh, that's crazy. 27 on the 27th.
Uh-huh.
For me, it was the 16th. The 16 on the 16th. But not this month. It's a whole different month. November. So happy early birthday. I will try to remember and catch you again here in frickin' what is it, 18 days.
And then I've just been playing this game because I ran out of PlayStation Plus and I don't got the money
Yeah.
to get it.
I got you. And that one, so like that one and Fortnite and stuff let you play it for free without PlayStation Plus, huh?
Yeah. Which I'm playing with someone right now, but I told him I'd be back in game chat.
I got you.
He plays on Nintendo Switch.
I keep getting more and more. Oh, Nintendo Switch, that's crazy.
He's probably the best Nintendo Switch player I've ever seen on Apex.
Maurice has much
Oh, that's crazy that it can crossplay and handle going with freaking PS4 and PS5 and Xbox and all that stuff.
Return to Maurice if you hunger.
Yeah. Well, he be crashing too every once in a while.
But that's still crazy that it can even get in there and compete like that.
Maurice is
You can
not
sit
Yeah.
there and bang.
cartel. Since your assault, their leader has secured the hideout against further attack. The entrance requires a code.
Yeah, so
Decoder rings from the
had a
cartel's
lot to
vault.
talk about. I just kind of spaced out. It's been a while since we talked. I just kind of was like,
Yeah,
oh shit, right,
sure
what's up?
has.
Man's been on this Apex journey.
Yeah, I've been going crazy. Last season I got over 100 wins.
Oh, speaking of things, how didn't you last time we talked? Didn't you have like a job interview or something coming up?
I can't get a job right now.
Ah, I got you.
My fucking license, dude.
Ah, did it expire?
I can't. It expired. Well, it expired last year on my birthday, and
And they need a
I
valid
waited.
ID.
I waited too long to renew it.
Oh, so now it's gonna cost a lot of money to get it renewed, huh?
Well, that and I don't. Since I haven't been working, I can't.
Put a long pause. You okay? So we don't gotta talk about this. We can change the subject.
I'm in. No, I'm in a. I was in a battle.
Ah. The big zone.
These guys pushed us.
Speaking of PvP shooters, I've been tearing up some rivals. I'm not really a PvP shooter guy, but you know, you get some Marvel characters in there, and all of a sudden I'm about it, and apparently I'm pretty good.
Yeah, I'd be seeing you on there.
Yeah. Yeah, we got all kinds of little interesting things to talk about.
But yeah, now, since I waited so long, I can't renew my license, and since I'm not working and stuff, I don't have proof of address, so I don't get no mail at all.
Damn, so you're gonna have one of your family, like, write you a letter so you can get your freaking proof of address and...
Dude, I asked them if we could do that. They told me no.
What? How else are you
Yeah.
supposed to get a proof of address?
And but then I think I could probably get it online. I've been forgetting to do it though.
I got you. That's still pretty crazy.
Yeah. I'm trying to convince my mom and sister to go half and half for a PS5, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Dang. There gotta be something you can do for money. We'll have to figure something out.
Shit, if I had a fucking lawnmower,
Right.
I'd go
Clean it
mow
up.
some yards.
Navigate to Midnight's Caring for the first time, that's right.
That dashing fook over there was making eyes at your sister.
I hit up my RL buddy Goofy. Well, his real name's Steven, but everyone calls him Goofy because he's goofy. I hit him up, was like, yo bro, I've missed hanging out with you bro, and then he was like, because I asked him how he's been, and he was like, oh, he was like, good sir, and then he told me that because I was like, we should do some shrooms again sometime, and then he was like, oh well, he's getting some mad honey. You know what that is? It's honey, but like it makes you like hallucinate and all that.
Oh, that's crazy. That's something I'd probably
It's
avoid myself, but that's
it's because these bees, when they go and get on this one flower, they bring it all back, and it has like stuff that can. I like hallucinating. I'd be doing
I'm at the
it
Malawan
with
facility,
shrooms all the
I
time.
think. I'm just reading the crates.
Wicked!
Remember, kids,
Get
don't
in
do
there and
drugs.
take down whatever Malawan's
Yeah, don't do
up.
drugs,
I don't care
guys.
how you do it, as long as it's messy.
If there's kids watching, do not do drugs.
Shouldn't be kids watching, but just in case.
Ammo! Without it, you're just a schmuck with a paperweight.
We're gonna hold on to that for something.
Have some money. Now, right?
So, they had a big Q&A, and questions were only half dodged. This is something I wanted to get people's opinion on, what they think. So, Randy Pitchford did this supposedly random thing right? So he brought up 100 of these little packet things that were quote-unquote loot boxes, okay? He had people come from the audience. This part seemed fairly random. He just had everybody whose birthday it was today come from the audience, right? And then he had everybody say their name and their jobs, and they had the audience with their voice vote on who they wanted to win the prize. That was cool. And then they used the same thing to have them pick 2 more people, to have them pick the first and last digit of a number of whatever loot box they were going to draw. But then he said, can we have people from the audience? This is the part where I think that these people were planted that he picked, personally. Because the number we had that the 2 birthday people picked was 29. Okay? But the audience members that he picked out of random, the 3, managed to pick 8, and then takes the 8 and put a 1 in front of it, making it 18, and then they had that 18 subtracted from the 29 to make 11. Well, out of 100 loot boxes, 11 was the only one that happened to have the T-shirt in it. That was the guy got as a prize. That also had a shift code on it, which shift code is in my posts live, by the way, for 75 golden keys and 20 diamond keys for Borderlands 3, and you get 75 keys for every Borderlands property connected to your shift account.
Okay.
Yeah, that is in my post on my channel. I also put it in the comments.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to yoink that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Heck yeah, man. So, but anyway, the thing I want to know is if people think that, like me, that this magic trick of his was totally planted audience members that he picked out for the number part, and the first half was random, or do you think that the whole thing was planned, or that none of it was planned, and that somehow, out of a 1% chance, that guy, out of 99 copies of Borderlands 4 and 1 t-shirt, got the t-shirt? Because, like, what are the chances? Well, I just said them, they're 1%, but... It's just crazy to me that that's what happened, you know? But also they gave out some good information, like I don't know if you caught it when I was talking about it, Red, but almost said your real name, I had to stop myself there for a second.
Oh, that's all good. I don't...
I know you don't, but I try not to for the most part, because some people do care, and I don't want to accidentally do it to one of those people.
Oh, yeah.
But, because I actually like your real name. I have quite a few good friends with that name. You're one of them.
Get the new guy!
But, so Vex, you know, we saw her other 2 action skills in the state of play, but the 3rd action skill they kind of hid away, and so what it does, it allows her to create ghostly versions of herself, right? One of them is called Reapers. The Reaper will sit there and taunt enemies, and it's basically a tank, and then the Spectre is basically a DPS that she can summon, has low health and high damage, and it has a gun.
Okay.
And she can summon them both at the same time. Her action skill has charges. So if you plan it out right, I think from what I saw, the person that was showing off the gameplay, they had 2 Spectres and 1 Reaper summoned. Yeah, that's what I thought. So that's got me interested. Kind of have, and also she's more kinetic focused than elemental focused, unlike the other sirens. More like a kinetic lifesteal type character, and that's some crap that I like. Very witchy vibes. They might have pulled me off of my original picked main, which was Rafa, the Exo Soldier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which, he's still pretty cool. Throws in an exosuit, right? And he has all kinds of different, like, guns and stuff that he can spawn, plus those twin blades and stuff like that. All pretty badass. And then we got Harlow. She is a former Maliwan scientist, but also she is a Trant. Yeah. So, besides being a master of gravity, it looks like her little bubbles also have elemental damage that they apply too. And she can like make a disco ball cannon thing. She's got like a rip-off of Phase Lock / Phase Craft. Shouldn't call it a rip-off, more like her own unique version of it, you know? But, I'm interested to see because they said that she has many gadgets they've yet to reveal. Curious to see what those gadgets are going to be. And then Amon, who's a character I think a lot of people are going to be interested in. He is a former Volt monster worshipping cult member, but whenever the Volt they were worshipping got opened, the monster came out and like killed everybody close to him. So now his new goal in life is to kill every Volt monster ever.
Okay.
Yeah, and he spent a good chunk of his life turning himself into a living weapon. He has these forge drones that are embedded into his spinal cord and can come out and make multiple weapons. So, from what I've seen so far, either fire or ice element. In the trailers, they showed off him having a shield and those twin axes and a whip and stuff, and him having like a fire punch. But also, they said in today that besides what they've shown, he also has a spear and a sword. So, and they also described him as like a sci-fi Viking, and the one designer lady's words, beefy daddy who has a poetry side. Has a poet's soul, apparently. So he's going to be a rather interesting character. Also, apparently, Rafa, the Exo Soldier's got the Riz. Apparently, he even be rizzing up the enemies. At least I think I used that term correctly. I'm not up enough with all the terminologies. I'm an old man, guys. Alright. What are you checking out? Sounds like a crazy creature.
This Predator, he's one of the most...
Oh, is it the new Predator for the movie that's gonna be coming out?
Oh, I don't know,
With
but
the
this
exiled Predator?
This one's Ahab, the God Killer. He hunted a god.
Oh. Okay, I'm about that. Dude, the Predator lore is fucking badass.
Yeah, it is. I used to look into it all a while back.
One of my favorite comic book series, I have it in both a hardback copy and paperback copy comic book, is I have the full 1 through 3 issue series of Predator versus Batman. Two different set copies of them. But where was I getting to? Zoned out again. Oh wait, I know we were talking about Pax stuff, but I forgot where I was going to go to next. Oh, I remember now.
Against an engineer.
This might be something that you're also interested in. Confirmed they are bringing back dedicated drops for Borderlands 4.
Oh.
And the example they gave specifically was for the state of play. They showed off that boss that had all the hands. That boss is going to drop a weapon, specifically that boss, is going to drop a weapon called Ruby's Grasp, which is the only legendary that they've given a name for so far. Right? And I thought that might have been like a raid boss, or like a, what they said that Volts, you're going to be able to find multiple Volt fragments on the planet Kiro, so there's going to be multiple Volts. Volts are like dungeons now that we can replay, and they have high-end enemies and high-end loot. We don't have to save quit farm anymore, by the way, because they have something called Moxie's Encore machine, which will respawn bosses and apparently restart your dungeons and stuff. But, crap, I forgot where I was going with that, kind of swayed off. Oh, the monster. It's not a boss for one of those Volts like I thought it would be. It's actually a story boss. That's something they let slip out by accident.
I'm gonna have to go back to game chat.
Okay. Well, it was good talking to you, Jacob. Enjoy your apexing. Sorry, I kind of spaced
There you
out.
go. You said my name.
I did, damn it. Alright, anyway, Red. See, look, I
It's
already
all
messed
good
up.
though.
86
Already
North
messed up. Anyway, Red, shall talk to you later. We're gonna definitely have to get another Borderlands sesh again. It's been too
Yeah,
long.
I gotta get PlayStation Plus first.
Oh yeah, that's right. I might be able to work something out.
Oh, tomorrow I'll get in a party with you. We can chat.
It was never
Alright,
gonna
man.
work, ladies.
Yeah, just let me know and we'll get it all hooked up. Talk to you later, man. I'm gonna go bring my notes back up so I don't keep getting lost in my conversations now. Look, guys, look. They killed that guy in that car. Alright, now that I'm not getting shot at, go ahead and reskim my notes here. Sorry, I got freaking zoned out on what I was talking about. After that boss, the fact that it's going to be a story boss, they did let a few other things slip out. We got an interesting, funny little story tidbit. This was one of the things I wanted to bring up. So, Trouble is the name of the little cat familiar thing that Vex summons, right? Well, the name was not even a placeholder. They never had a placeholder name. That thing has been Trouble since the start, and it is named after one of the developers' cats. And then they made a little joke about whether or not he should name another character after his other cat, and he said, well, been there, done that. My other cat's name is Nisha. So I thought that was pretty funny. They did say that the rarity system is just going to be, you know, common through legendary again, and some people are taking it as confirmed pearls, some people are taking it as a troll. I want to know what your guys' opinion is and what other people think, but while he was saying, you know, you got your white, and then your green, and then your blue, and then your purple, and then your orange, and then your and then he stopped himself, and then, you know, acted like he was just trolling. So, pearls maybe for Borderlands 4? We don't know exactly. They got a little more in deep about the gun system. So, the 9 manufacturers they showed, people were wondering, well, how did we get a Hyperion part if they didn't mention that Hyperion was a gun? So, Atlas, COV, and Hyperion are going to be featured in the game only as gun parts. There are going to be no Atlas, COV, or Hyperion guns. Also, Doll is not there. Story-wise, I think this might be a little plot hole, but you all tell me what you think. That all of the weapon tech, lore-wise, for Kyros is solely based off of what has been crash-landed into the planet by, like, ships and stuff. Okay? Now, here's my thing about it. Maybe they'll have them come in as, like, a surprise when you get to Elpis or something like that. But the reason Doll isn't there is because the only Doll tech that's crashed on the planet is going to be our little Echo 4 drone, which, the one designer lady rarely recommended that we die at least once on purpose. Just if we think we're not gonna die, you know, ever. To at least try it out once. So that we can see. Echo 4 apparently gets sad when we die. Also, he is the cure for having to go back and talk to Lilith 100 times during the story. Apparently he will be giving us all of our mission rewards and stuff like that when we turn in our missions. He's right there with us. He's also a little guide. He can shoot little beams down and pass stuff up for us. Also, he is fully customizable. They made hints about colors and hats. So apparently we're gonna be able to give our little robo boy some, you know, what do you kids call it? Drift, right? You're gonna be able to get him some nice snazzy outfits and hats and stuff. Our little Echo 4.
Your parents will be ashamed of you.
That Stormtrooper heavy is gonna be a slight. Throw your shield, that was the only thing keeping you alive, bro. So, they confirmed there's going to be multiple of these dungeon-y vault things, by the way, on the planet. We got a little Timekeeper lore, by the way. So the Timekeeper apparently has taken over that planet, and he's all about order and stuff like that. And he had put these bolts inside of people to basically like take away their free will and control them. He outlawed vault hunting. Anything that could cause mayhem or chaos on his planet has been outlawed. Alright, he wants everything to function a certain way, and he has kept that planet like that for thousands of years. So this guy is some kind of entity that can live for a very long time. And he had kept the planet hidden until recently when, you know, Lilith teleports Elphys into what she thought was empty space and turned out to be a planet. So this is where I think the plot hole might come in with the doll stuff, by the way. So, anybody play Borderlands the pre-sequel up in here? You know, let us know in the comments. But, in Borderlands the pre-sequel, a big company that was everywhere was Doll. So, why is there no Doll tech if Doll was very prevalent and all over Borderlands the pre-sequel, which was solely featured on Elphys? Why is this? Unless they're gonna, you know, surprise us with Doll tech on Elphys, being like the only place you can find Doll tech or something. Why say that it's not in there for those specific lore reasons that no ships have crashed? Because we had a whole moon crash in full of Doll tech. Doll has basically set up their whole mining operation and stuff. All those Lost Legion were all former Doll. You know, Doll was a big mining company that led to the cracking of Elphys. Apparently none of the main gun manufacturers actually sell stuff to Kyros. And this could be actually a lore-dependent reason of why the guns are the way they are, since we can get guns with multiple parts now. Also, we did get confirmation that there will be something akin to gear sets. They call them firmware, and you can get, you know, when you get 3 pieces of gear with the same matching firmware on them, then you get the firmware bonus. The one that we keep seeing a lot is called Airstrike, so I'm wondering what these firmwares are going to do, but they're going to give up more build diversity. We have these 3 possible enhancement slots, so that's going to completely change up our build diversity, especially since the enhancements give you bonuses to your gun specifically with certain weapon parts. So, say for example, maybe you're not the biggest, we'll use a torque person, right? But you got this really cool torque gyrojet enhancement. Well, you can still find other guns of your other brands, like Jacobs and stuff like that, that will have torque parts on them, and they will get that bonus. So you could possibly have bullets that ricochet and stick gyrojets whenever you crit. Things like that. They gave so many different gun examples. What is up, Mercenary 101? How are you? I am just running a takedown on, this is my first ever, I've been messing around with it. I still haven't named it. It's named I Don't Know right now. IDK, but my first clone in Mantis Cannon build that I've ever gone through. I've been slowly acquiring them and thinking about getting the 3rd combo in there, the cannon and the shield, possibly. Bro, why is that guy not dying? Yeah, this motherfucker has no health but isn't dying. I'm about to die because one character suddenly became immortal. That's crazy. Oh, you found a funny effect of that shield that you sent me, huh? What is that funny effect? Well, I am extremely upset about that. What kind of glitch was that? That motherfucker literally was not dying. I should have turned to shoot another enemy first, but... Also, could I have progressed with that enemy being immortal? Like, would it have spawned the proper enemy still to get on to the next part?
That man is dangerous!
Either way, that was extremely annoying. No, we'll let you clean up for a minute, clone. So what was your effect here? I did not send the next one yet. We are still waiting on what the effect is. Gotcha.
Got more where that came from.
Yes, the code has been decoded. You will use it to open the gates.
Not just great time for that grenade in my phone. The other things that we had in the Q&A, so they gave a reason for why we don't have a mini-map in Borderlands 4 compared to like 3 and 2. So the reason they gave us for getting rid of the mini-map, and they did kind of joke about if we want the mini-map bad enough, they may add it in later after launch, if they hear enough people asking for it. He did joke that it would cost $10 though, but then he said no, he wouldn't do that, or was he joking? It better not be, no $10 mini-map. Ooh, hold on, I'll have to read that whole thing in a minute. But, as I was saying, the reason that we don't have a mini-map and we have a compass now is because they thought it would be weird cutting out that little square of our map for such a large map.
I'm the fake! I'm the fake!
Alright, clone, while you distract them, I'm gonna read Mercenary's messages real quick. Alright, so Mercenary said, when the shield breaks, it spawns a red circle on the ground, so if you stand in that red circle and shoot a weapon, then with the shield that gives you, gives you the purple damage booster, and it'll spawn the ball drones on every hit. Oh, yeah. Can you imagine how crazy that could get with, like, an OPQ system, for example? Speaking of which, you ever made an OPQ system that can infinitely shoot out those little drone guns that the OPQ system makes? Because I used to have one, but I don't remember what I did with it. Apparently I got it lost somewhere in one of my profiles, but somebody had dropped for me one time, back when this event for the cartels first happened, a modded OPQ system that the only thing that was modded on it was when you'd switch to the alternate fire mode, you'd just be able to keep shooting the drones out. I do remember after so many drones it freezing up my game though. What manufacturer is it? I think it is Atlas. But I could be wrong. I'd have to double check. I don't think I have an OPQ system on. You know what gun I'm talking about, right? The one from the cartel event. It's usually yellow by default. Shoots like 2 bullets and makes those little shock explosions. But also its alternate firing mode is that it fires out a copy of itself. That kind of floats around and shoots it. Focus for a second here.
You look at the maggot.
I got you. That's lame. But if you combine it with that shield, I bet you can break the game with a bunch of drones. That gun does shoot pretty rapidly. Ooh, or a super stratifier. Super stratifier. That gun would probably go pretty hard. Got unlimited ammo, super stratifier. And then pair it with that shield. Just be able to crank out drones after you break it. My question is, as big as that shield was, how did you break it? Because if I remember right, it gave me something like 22 million shield. Oh, I just noticed I haven't spent my Guardian tokens in quite a while. How many I have? I think there's some stuff that I covered. Ah, we're also fighting. Things that were on the Q&A. Oh yeah, they did talk about the
Another disintegration.
they confirmed they're gonna have something kind of like the badass and guardian rank and stuff like that. I honestly would have preferred like a rehash of the myth rank from Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. That's my favorite version of that system so far. It gives me a reason to grind the game up because I can literally just keep increasing my damage as I level up. With no cap limit. Right? But apparently the new system is going to actually have like hard choices for you to make in it that like will change how your character plays mechanically. So I'm curious about that. I do believe I mentioned already that dedicated drops are confirmed back. That's something I'm very excited about. They said that they mentioned the vehicles will have a lot of heavy customization options and not just cosmetic ones. Like there's gonna be all kinds of guns and chassis and other parts that we can find for our vehicles. You know, which apparently we're gonna have a digistructure attached to our hip, essentially. be able to summon these vehicles wherever we are. According to them. How are you immune to radiation under fire? The trolls are real. Cracks me up he was running even though he's supposed to be immune to the damage he was doing. They talked a little bit about in-game content, but not a whole lot. Like, they didn't dodge any questions, but they did give quick, short answers to some of them. And the in-game thing, they kind of just brushed it off as they're apparently going on a little promotional tour here soon, where they will be talking about the in-game. Oh, here's something I wanted to talk about that I forgot to put in my notes. Ordinite, right? The new not currency thing. Supposed to be related to iridium. They said it's like iridium, but it's not, and they're supposed to be adding more to the lore, because apparently there's more than just the Iridians out there as ancient civilizations. But what they said Ordinite does is it possibly makes enemies explode. So here's my theory. So the new system they have for grenades and rocket launchers, so the reason grenades are going on a cooldown, and that's not just rocket launchers, just their heavy weapons in general, are going to be set on this cooldown thing, is because they wanted them to have a bigger impact, and instead of having ammo that they can consume. Screenshots of spawning clouds of drones. I'm going to read all of that out loud here shortly, mercenary. That all sounds crazy. Just let me finish up what I was saying, because otherwise I will get lost off track. But my theory for Ordinite is that it's actually going to make your ordnance recharge faster. Since they specifically said it is not a currency. But it's going to drop from enemies similar to iridium. So that's going to be interesting to say. But the reason they're doing ordnance the way they are with cooldowns is because they wanted to make your grenades and stuff and like your heavy weapons feel like a big thing that you can do very often, but they wanted to make them feel bigger again. Like the reason I guess the grenades have been kind of toned down is because you can basically just spam chunk them, right? And once you get high enough STUs, well, you're not going to be able to do that in 4. On 4, they're going to have charges, and each individual charge is going to have a cooldown. But with that, they're also going to be, you know, way more heavily, like, damaging. Like they said, some of these are going to have crazy parts. Like, you're going to be able to spawn a multi-mer homing nuke, is one example they gave. They did talk about something new with the shields. We're gonna have a new shield type called armor that is a little bit different than our regular shields. It's more for the people that like to rush into battle, and it has like more of a like recharge while in battle type of thing than like while avoiding being hit, like our normal shields, how they are now. I'm wondering if it's going to also, you know, be the yellow armored health bars like what are featured in this game, but for our personal characters instead of the blue. And are all these armors going to be weak to corrosion? Something I'm really interested in. They said they made the loot chase feel better again, that legendaries are actually going to feel legendary now. Which they, you know, had already mentioned that also in the state of play, so that's nothing new. but they went over.
You're getting tired over here. Jealous the rest of you get to see this all the time.
And I don't know if you all heard, but people have been talking about it. I'm surprised they actually didn't address it in the Q&A at PAX East. But apparently there was a leaked message on Epic Games talking about how Gearbox is going to continue to support Borderlands 4 after its launch with free and paid DLC content, including expanded story opportunities and 2 DLC Vault Hunters. That's definitely something interesting. I'm surprised that they didn't talk about. Another thing I'm still stuck on, but I feel like was Randy Pitchford's magic trick.
I'm on fire! But not literally.
Try to stomp my head again. Death ball. I was surprised my phone's staying alive as long as it is right now. We're under a lot of heavy fire here. I need to remember to swap off with my clones, because a lot of my things have the clone swap weapon damage anointment. A lot of, I mean most of. My freaking clone's aiming at him at all.
That's a good-looking bullet sponge.
Oh no, I got myself stuck over here. Which means clone be stuck in the ground. Can't finish this boy off a bit faster here. You clone, you wanna shoot this man? Robot? I'd have to let you expire just so I can make a new one. Damn it, he was almost expired. Alright, that's better. I'm gonna make him Heavy boy.
Need a charge!
Good luck getting him out of there. All kinds of inner shield damage gotta take care of that.
Deathbringer!
Get it, you resist cryo. It's done. But even so, I do a lot.
Get the bastard!
I should freaking have a priority target button like the drone does.
Another day, another disintegration. 100%.
Your parents will be ashamed of you!
Absences will be noted and totally reached. I lived as few dare to dream. Open up.
Choose wisely, suckers!
Executing.
Face shot DXC.
Death ball mode activated. Superiority.
Almost stop targeting them, start targeting the big boy. Lion.
Come on! Got a bit messy, but nobody's paying me for a clean takedown.
Brilliant work, Vault Hunter! That ass kicking will make Malawan think twice before they come at us again.
Yeah, boss fight is a little long. Some of the damage is Wotan more.
No, 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 no. Do it.
Okay, let's see here. Well, you figured it has something to do with both the purple damage booster and the damage booster interacting. So it's like a twin damage booster interacting. And it cut off your other message, so I had to reload. That's the one I read at the end. The screen. You have screenshots of it spawning clouds of drones. Yeah, that's something I'd probably like to see is the cloud of drones. Sounds hardcore. Well, that runs their computer super hard with all those drones though, huh? Although, I'm sure you have a super badass PC. By the way, if y'all don't know, Mercenary 101 is our resident modded item maker. Man makes all the items that I show off in those modded item showcases. I don't use any of the modded items in my usual streams, but I do use them in those, and we might just do a random stream with like all modded craft one time just for funsies. Who knows? But man makes some crazy items, not just guns and stuff. Man makes shields and artifacts and grenades, class mods even. The works, and they're all crazy. Okay, now let me double check, 'cause I think I had more notes. I know one thing also, I went ahead and bought the game Risk of Rain. I saw that it was normally $25, so I went to go buy it, and the PlayStation Store had it on sale for $7. But they showed off that game, and it looks pretty fun too, so I went ahead and bought it since it was $7. That's something we may be streaming here in the future. Let me get back to my notes and make sure there wasn't anything that I missed. I'm waiting for my buddy Sean to show up. Or not Sean, but Thomas. Me and him were talking about my buddy Sean. Talked about them describing Amon as a big beefy poet daddy. Long list of weapons, sci-fi Viking thing. Talked about how Vex might be my new main. She's probably gonna be the first solo character I make, and I'll probably play Rafa with other people. Oh yeah, they did talk about how we're gonna get weather, like dynamic weather, like rain, dust storms, snowstorms, etc., etc., and that they're not gonna affect like our stats or anything like that, or our damage, but what they will affect solely and completely is our vision. So that sounds about worrying for some people. There's a lot of people hoping that that is a feature that you can toggle on and off. I think I'll be able to be okay with it, but you never know. We'll have to see just how bad it messes with our vision, really. Well, let's see, they mentioned world bosses again, and they mentioned that there's gonna be a random event NPCs that have like a little something that we're gonna have to do, and then once we finish doing it, it's gonna drop loot
This thing on?
chests.
Test. Hey, Vault Hunter, have we got an opportunity for you?
You know,
You don't
I know
want
people
to
are bummed we
listen.
don't have a mini-map anymore and that we have that radar, but the radar looks okay, and you gotta remember the Echo 4 basically has clairvoyance and can just path out, you know, for us the next place we go. They talked about how this is the most cooperative version of Borderlands they've made yet, and that, you know, that's actually they've been working really hard on the multiplayer for it, and that we're gonna be able to, from launch, be able to, at any point in time, drop in, drop out co-op from the very start of the game. To say they can have split screen and, you know, remote, and then just remote, just split screen, any combination of them you can think of, you can multiplay.
Now get out of here.
Need a password to get in. Type it in right there. Correct. In you go. I've done my part.
Ooh. Was the big guy. Hey, melted my phone over there.
The lackey's fall.
First
The
one
game's
anyway.
open. You will continue this dance until the scream music reaches its crescendo.
So I guess a question I have for everybody, you know, if you know anything about the Vault Hunters, or if you guys have been listening to my little bit rambling on, what Vault Hunter so far are you most excited to play for Borderlands 4? Or are you excited to play any of them? Are you trying to wait on the DLC characters to see if maybe one of them sparks your interest? If they're still going to go through with the DLC characters, that is. 'Cause that seems like a crazy leak, to be real. I don't want to get our hopes up for a DLC Vault Hunter just for them to go back on it. 'Cause there's one thing I wanted to talk about, how they describe the new skill trees. Now, we already seen that there's going to be 3 action skills, and each one's going to have a skill tree with a main part, and 3 things coming branched off it, and stuff like that. So I talked about there basically being, like, 9, or not 9, but 12 possible, like, skill tree things, kinda. But how they worded it is basically each action skill has a skill tree, which consists of 1 trunk and 3 branches. So the first 3 parts are trunks, so we got 3 trunks and 9 branches. Our skill trees. So 12 total boxes. No. Don't want the bounty. No? Are you sure? I should have got some money for that. Culinary artist.
I call this a successful operation. That dashing fook over there was making eyes at your sister.
Ugh. Oh. So, they confirmed what the set bonuses are going to be called. They're going to be called firmware. And if you get 3 pieces of armor, or I think there's like the enhancements or whatever, they didn't really get specific on what gear will drop with it. We've only really seen them with on the enhancement pieces so far. But if you get 3 with matching set parts on them, then you get that set bonus. Or firmware bonus, I should say. So that's going to add to more build diversity. All about that build diversity. I love making builds. It's kind of my thing on Borderlands.
You will bring it to the fountain.
Crazy. Right. Rest of this. Give me just a moment. Oh yeah. They confirmed we'll be able to fast travel from what they said, no load times at all, so I'm a little skeptical on that. I think they more mean no load screens. I think they'll have like little animations when we fast travel and stuff to be the quote unquote load time. Right? No, you all lay down. Lay down. Lay down. I'm just getting up so I can get me a water. Y'all go lay down. I gotta get a water and I gotta pee, guys. Yeah, baby. And I gotta get Alexia water too. Ooh. Also, it gives me a chance to look at the rest of my notes. Oh yeah, also if you missed it earlier, I did mention if you go to the post section on my channel, we have a shift code up that was on a t-shirt. I also recopied it with the hyphens into my comments. But it gives you 25 gold and 20 diamond keys for all your linked Borderlands games. Oh yeah. So, something I'm wondering about, I don't know if it was just a tease for the little cinematic trailer that they had at the end or not, but there was a mention of a curfew, and whoever being caught violating will be shot on sight. So I'm wondering there personally if maybe in the cities there will actually be a like certain time where there will be more heavy enemy population from the order, and that if we were caught out there, we'll get lit up. They're gonna try to take us down. Be a lot more fighting in the cities. I'm crazy. Curious to see how they're gonna go. They talked about going on a tour to talk more about the end game. Sounds promising. That's something I really want to know about because, you know, you can only replay the story so many times before you're like, oh, okay, I need more. Oh no. Our CP baby. Oh. I think I covered everything that I can really remember heavily from the whole PAX thing. I cut out a lot of the filler crap and them rehashing stuff that we already knew, of course. Hold on, let me pee. I don't have anything else down in my notes, so I was just trying to think of if I could remember anything specifically other than, you know, just stuff that they did. I already got the ammo. Ooh, Josie. Wait, I need to spend these Guardian. Oh, damn, I got 27. Not like they really matter much. All like a drop in the bucket at this point. Yeah, that one didn't even move it. It's like I gotta get it a couple times before it even moves at 1%. Or 0.01%. Just trying to take these out real quick. Really just picking random crap, because it's not like it really matters much with these low percentages being added. Still gonna prioritize, of course, the ones that I like more, but when you get to this point, your tokens barely freaking add anything to your percentages. Like, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 tokens just to get that 0.01% up. Just got recoil reduction twice in a row. Didn't even budge that number.
guys are freaking deadly! Assassination on the house. Go die now! Got any more for the meat grinder?
So another thing I wish that they would have gotten a question about or talked about more is the dataless guns. Right, so I'm really curious how what they said works. Like they said that it's going to use multiple actions or ammo types. So like, is it more like it's going to prioritize one ammo type, or is it going to have an underbarrel that uses another ammo type, or other ammo types going to be alternate firing modes? A lot of questions with that.
I live for this!
And from the sound of it, we're going to be able to get some crazy guns, but it also sounds like it's going to be really hard to farm up what we want, because we're going to have to fight things a lot. But with dedicated drops being back and freaking Moxie's Encore machine, you can bet your sweet butt and be farming a lot of bosses and just flipping that switch. Hopefully there's no like currency cost or something that we can just, you know, continuously refight the boss over and over again. Otherwise, you know, people are still going to want to save quit farm if it costs. Alright, let's see what all we got in here today. Give me some screenshots on Discord. I'll have to check those out. That's what that notification sound I heard was. Oh dear Jesus. How many freaking drones is that? It's like a whole firing squad. God damn. Man's a forge knight before the forge knight. All those drones. Still never answered my question on how you broke that shield. Like, with all of that freaking shield capacity, you had to use one of your other guns that could out damage yourself for that, right? Oh, I didn't see it. Oh, okay. So how did I miss that? Because I freaking read the message after it. So the purple booster uses 25% of your shield to activate when combined with the red booster and the other hidden booster. It uses 100% of your shield while in the red circle activating the drone. Gotcha. So it consumes it. Alright, so we got 1, 5, 3. So here we're gonna go.
And where there's puzzles,
3,
there's
1,
loot.
5, 5. Boom.
Nobody out-puzzles Zen boy. Eat your heart out, puzzle.
Feel you, Zan. Do like a good puzzle. Although that one's pretty simple. Still just here waiting for my friend Thomas at this point. Because we were gonna come in, I was gonna give him a little recap on some Borderlands stuff so he can get excited about it. Even more than he's already excited about it. And then we are gonna play some Phasmophobia. I feel like he should have been here already. Because he told me it'd be like an hour and a half, like an hour and a half ago. Huh. Throw a grenade and then just start shooting non-stop and somehow it activates. Next time I play around with that shield, I'm gonna have to test it out. Might make a stream and see how many drones we can make before we crash the game. It might literally be the title of the stream.
All I see.
I did forget to go find that golden mask. Double check, make sure I didn't miss any loot. Dang, no iridium out of that red pile? Oh, mercenary, were you here when I talked about my little plot hole that I found in Borderlands 4 already? It's not really exactly a plot hole, it's more just like a overall lore hole. Involving the doll weapon company. And why there's no doll in Borderlands 4? Even though there should be doll in Borderlands 4 because Elpis. Look at that Tony Montana wannabe ass motherfucker right there.
Come closer, will you?
Yeah, it's even in the sink.
Shocked, heretic!
Come give Callum.
So I am really curious. Use it to
Didn't anyone teach you how to fight?
replay missions too, not just refight bosses and stuff like that, or respawn rare enemies, all that, etc., etc. Respawn your dungeon. Like, you're gonna be able to do whole story missions over again with it. So I wonder if you can just do it. I actually, that was where my thought process was going, by the way. I was like, man, once Mercenary starts making mods on that game, the guns that he's gonna make are gonna be absolutely insane. So I'm curious though, if there's gonna be actual other Hyperion parts in the game, other than just the shield. Or if that's actually going to be how it is, because Randy did kind of make a joke that the only important part from Hyperion was the shield. But it's still crazy to me that they have 3 gun brands in the game that are only going to be for parts and not actual guns. And that being said, why no doll parts at least? You know, we got Elpis. Could be a lot of doll parts from Elpis. But all in all, I'm pretty excited about the game. Yeah, so there's only a couple things that I have a few concerns about, but they seem like they, yeah? That there are. And now there's gonna be all kinds of guns with shields. And I do like that my favorite gun brand is refeatured again. Although you wouldn't be able to tell from my gameplay on here, because in Borderlands 3 they kind of... Like, they don't have, like... They're not bad. Obviously they have some really good ones, like freaking one of the best assault rifles, personally, to me. actually comes from them. Let's see if I have one. I do not have one on me. Anyway, not the regular sickle, but the boom sickle. Right? To me is one of the best assault rifles in this game. Definitely one of my favorites up there on my list. But Vladoff in this game didn't seem to hit as hard as it hit for me in the previous two, or 2.5 pre-sequel. Because like Vladoff in 1, 2, and the pre-sequel is my shit. I freaking love Vladoff guns. So I'm hoping to bring some glory back to my brand. I don't care about my accuracy. I want my high fire rate and my freaking machine guns, man. This is why I Vladoff. And they gave him underbarrel guns in this game, which was exciting at first. No, I needed to go further back. And I'm full on ammo. After all that, still forgot to pick up the mask. That there's just disappointing. All of that. Well, I guess I could hold on to all that, and then next time Alexia plays, I can give her all those cosmetics that I already know. Let's put them in my bank, so I can give them to her later. Speaking of other people that I play this game with, my brother, who I haven't played any games with in a long time, wants to do some Borderlandsing with me. So starting on his next days off, which I forgot the exact days, I'll have to go look at the messages again. We're gonna start a little series of us playing all the Borderlandses. You know, just running through the story in each one. We do 1 and then 2 1 pre-sequel, 2. I don't know what order I want to do them in exactly. Maybe 1, 2 pre-sequel, then 3, and then some Tinas. But we're gonna play through and start new characters and beat all the freaking stories on all the Borderlands. To build up our Borderlands 4 hype even more.
Welcome to your doom!
Oh, here's something I wanted to ask you guys. Since they said there's going to be world bosses, how do you think the world bosses are going to work? Think they're going to be like ESO or Destiny world bosses, or like they got a specific spawn point that they spawn on like a time-based system? Or do you think they're just going to be always roaming out there, and then once you kill them, you're either going to have to respawn them, or like they may have a timer? Also, regular mobs will respawn on a timer for Borderlands 4. So after a certain period of time, you'll be able to go back to areas you were already at and refight all the mobs. Farming's gonna get pretty crazy. Now here's a question I wish people would have asked for. They might have, and they just, you know, didn't pick that question out of questions that they were going to answer. Is I'm curious what the level cap is going to be for launch, and if they're going to do what they normally do, or as they release DLCs and stuff, they slowly increase the level cap, or if that's just going to be it for the whole game. And it seems like they've been listening to fans, though, and trying to do their best to keep up with that. And at first I was part of team, I want the minimap back, but after hearing what their reasonings were, I'm actually okay with it. Makes some sense to me. If they add one later, cool, but, you know, we still got our big map, as I said. We got Echo doing clairvoyance, and that radar is actually going to show, like, up and down arrows if we have to go up or down. And because the map's so big, that it'll be easier to navigate all of our objectives on it. I still think they could have like combined radar and minimap together, right? Like had the north, south, east, west, all that shit around the minimap, and then have the like if it's outside of their little chunk square that we're on, they could just have a little marker there, kind of like how I think Grand Theft Auto does it, or at least some of the Grand Theft Auto games did it. I don't know how it is in Grand Theft Auto 5, personally. Like, I only played a little tiny bit of that game. Not because I didn't like it or anything, it's just whenever I first went to play it was many, many years ago. PS4 wasn't even a thing yet. It was on PlayStation 3 when that game first came out. And I had deleted a lot of games to be able to play it because I rented it from GameFly. Right? And then I get through the little tutorial area where you guys are like robbing that bank or whatever, finally get past all those police on the outside, just for it to stop me with another message saying I need to delete more things because it needed even more space. At that point, I was just like, screw it, because the only thing I had left at the time, and was something I refused to delete whatsoever, was my Borderlands 2 and all of its DLCs. It was the only other game I had on that. I deleted every other game I had. Try to make space for it. It was crazy the game was that big. I can tell that in Borderlands 2, with all of its DLCs, was the biggest game I'd ever seen. And then, freaking Grand Theft Auto 5 was like, hold my beer. And I do own it on both PC and PS4 also. I just haven't played it yet. What's crazy is I kind of zoned out talking to y'all. Didn't even pay attention to the fact that I killed the boss already. And that just means that's how good this build works. Y'all gotta keep in mind, I am very 420'd right now. And we just popping off. Still don't know what to call this
Choose wisely, suckers!
cloning cannon build that I came up with here. I just put craft where I thought it would look good. Normally I would go for some calm, cool, and collected, but honestly I don't need that for as often as this guy recharges, because I was thinking about respecking it, but I think I got it nice and compact down, like damage-wise and stuff. Like, I didn't really grab anything I deemed unnecessary. I would have liked some points in that, but I feel like that the fire rate and the critical hit damage and stuff That again is this as a kill skill, plus being able to activate my kill skills with my freaking class mod and stuff worked better than this whole thing for just a single shot. And yeah, I could stack it up beforehand with my action skills, but still, that didn't really ring out for me as much as the constant bonuses. We completed this whole tree all the way down, and yes, I am using the Seeing Dead class mod on top of all this, but it's for good reason. Okay. And then, you know, we got heavily in this. We actually get 3 points from this for our class mod, which is beautiful. Only 1 and 1 here, but that Donnybrook. Mwah, love that Donnybrook. Here we got, you know, some of this. Throw some grenades in so we don't blow our stuff up with our own things. Maximum speed to help with our speed is power. Best for grenades, so we can slowly regenerate grenades, because the only thing we use them for is boom enhance every time we pop that big boy clone down. Then of course 1 and 1 here, and 1 here. Nothing here, sadly. Although, I wish there was a way I could get 1 point here and 1 point here without having to sacrifice a whole bunch of over here. Because out of this tree, well, I do like this too. And the action skill cooldown, right? But mainly these two things. They're just so nice. And this one pairs in with this one, giving us all that calm, cool, collected energy. Restoring our health and our shields, and making our action skills reset. Which I use that heavily on my other builds, including my nuclear winter build, that I call it. Where a lot of radiation and ice damage on my drone and cannon. Zane. I'm sure you guys haven't noticed yet, my favorite element in this game is cryo. So I do a lot of cryo builds, but also I have other builds, like my Mo's, she's fire. My Flax a little bit of whatever works for him at the time. Bro, just the fadeaway champ. Now, I do need to level up, but I've been waiting for Matthew to continue that, so we can level up our characters that we've been playing together, and then go farm the stuff we want for our builds, for his Mo's and my flak. Make me a grenade delivery flak with that class mod.
Always repays what is owed. Yes. But those who wield debt as a sharp claw at the throat of the trusty will always receive a reckoning. Your reward.
You know, I've seen a lot of people make crazy freaking flaks with that, and I want to make my own little twist on it. Just go in and see what action skill or what skill points work good with it.
We got an opportunity for you.
You don't
Let it go
want to
crazy.
miss it.
My favorite customer.
Ammo. Without it, you're just a schmuck with a paperweight.
Sorry, my dogs are over here going nuts because freaking car. Oh, well, I'm gonna have to change the anointment on that, but you know, see if we can't work a redistributor in here.
Support local business.
No, it's not. Sorry, I had to yawn. Not as good as it used to be, but it's still fun to play with.
I used to have one just like that.
My thing is, how did I get this purple thing? It's just an auto self crap. Oh yeah, I accidentally sold all of those Other cosmetics earlier. No, they're not on there. Oops. Alright guys, give me just one moment here. Alright. There's a Thomas.
Now.
About dang time, bro.
I got caught up in traffic.
Ah, freaking traffic.
Fucking traffic.
Effing traffic. That's alright, it gave me some time. And Tina is waiting on a replacement for Fortnite. So, give you a quick rundown on what you missed, Thomas. Okay?
I
My
peed my
brother.
pants.
Whoa, that's not cool. Peed your pants? Were
It
you
was
stuck in
warm.
traffic that bad?
I mean, I was stuck in traffic in one spot for like 20 minutes.
You didn't have anything to pee in? I'm sure you didn't
Yeah.
actually pee your pants, but...
Nah, but I thought about it. I didn't even stop by the store to get like a snack because I just wanted to get home.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. Freaking traffic sounded horrible then. Anyway, so what you missed, we'll give you a quick rough summary. So, Randy Pitchford made a little magic trick thing giveaway, which the reason I think he put some plugs in the audience is because he kept reiterating that he needs to make everybody believe that it's random, which to me means that it wasn't random. Because out of 100 little baggies he had, the guy ended up with number 11, which was the only one that had the t-shirt with that code on it. All the rest of them, the other 99, were copies of Borderlands 4.
Nice. I would take a copy of Borderlands 4.
Right. But no, he got the t-shirt, 'cause that's what the random selected audience number was. Random in some heavy quotes. Okay. A few things. So we got 6 returning manufacturers, which are
Okay. GD Atlas.
yeah, no,
Flat
not
off.
No Atlas.
Nope. No. Fuck them.
No, hold on,
Fuck them.
hold on.
No.
Before you get mad, hold
No.
on. Atlas is gonna be in the game, but not as a gun. The parts for
No.
Atlas can spawn on your gun, so you're still gonna have the behaviors you liked from Atlas, but on other gun brands. Like you could possibly get a tracking freaking Mally one or Torque or a tracking Jacobs gun that also ricochets tracking bullets, as they. But specifically COV, Atlas, and Hyperion are only going to show up as parts. The 6 returning ones are going to be Tedior, Mally 1, Jacobs, Vladoff, I done spaced out my guns, Mally 1, I don't know if I said that one already. And we got 3 new ones, right? Which are the Order, the Ripper, and Daedalus.
Daedalus.
Yeah, no, they call it Daedalus. Is what they call it.
Daedalus.
Yeah.
Got it. It sounds funner.
But yeah, some people pointed out that the middle is like it's a Daedalus. But Doll's not coming back at all. And the only thing we get doll tech wise is the Echo 4, which is this little robot we can customize. Right? And their reasoning was that no ships have crashed with any doll tech, but I feel like that's kind of like a little lore hole that they made. Because Elpis has also crashed into the atmosphere, and nobody's going up to Elpis and salvaging out all that doll crap to make guns. There's a lot of doll tech on Elpis. It was primarily taken over by Elpis or by Doll for a fat minute, so there's lots of mines and old doll equipment and guns and stuff everywhere, all over Elpis. You tell me there's no doll in Borderlands 4, but we got Elpis? Don't make no sense. But I'm okay with that. For the reason that they got rid of the mini-map. There's no mini-map in Borderlands 4. We have a radar again, like in Borderlands 1, but a more advanced version of said radar. Mostly because of the size of the map. You can fast travel to your friends now.
Nice.
And they said no load times. But I think what they more mean is no load screens. I feel like they'll have little animations for quote-unquote load times, you know? I'm sure it'll just be little quick animations, and I'm sure they'll be very, very, very short load times, but I guarantee you there's no way they did this with no load times whatsoever. We got a little funny story about how Trouble, which is Vex's little companion familiar action skill, is actually named after one of the developer's cats. They talked more about each one, like they showed off her final action skill that they didn't show off in the state of play, which kind of might make me a new Vex main. Because she can make Reapers and Spectres. Reapers freaking are basically tanks, and Spectres are basically DPS, and if she's got any kind of heals that she can do with that, that's gonna be crazy. She'll be a whole dungeon team by herself. We got the Exo Soldier Rafa, which, you know, he's more than likely gonna be my boy. I like fast characters, and he's apparently gonna be the speed character of this game. And then we have Harlow, who is a Traunt, but she's also a scientist, former Mally 1, lots of elemental looking damage stuff, but she is the Gravitar. She manipulates gravity. And she has a bunch of gadgets they haven't showed off yet, from what they said, so I'm curious to find out more about her. We got Amon the Forge Knight, former cultist that worshipped Vault monsters, but that all changed when the Vault monster that they were worshipping in the Vault came out and killed everybody he knew and cared about. So now he wants to kill all Vault monsters ever. And he spent a good period of time turning himself into a literal living weapon. His spinal cord consists of these little drones that are called Forge drones that come out. And they basically make all his action skills and everything from what we've seen so far. He's got a shield, a whip, he's got these twin axes he can make. And they said that he's also got a spear and a sword that they haven't shown yet. and he's like a futuristic sci-fi Viking, but also, as the one lady described him, a beefy big daddy who also has like a poetic side to him. Oh, and I forgot about Rafa. Rafa is apparently super charming. Apparently, even the enemies will make note about how charming he is. Man's got the, as the kids put it, the riz.
The Riz.
Okay, so that's all the stuff they got about the Vault Hunters. They confirmed there will be multiple vaults on the planet, and these are going to be replayable dungeons that we can do multiple times using Moxie's Encore machine, which can also respawn freaking like world bosses, regular story bosses, help us replay parts of the story, spawn special enemies again, stuff like that.
Okay.
You know about all the different gun parts, like the guns are gonna be all spawning with multiple different gun parts, which is something I'm excited about. We're gonna have crazy, crazy guns to farm up. They talked about how Ordinite is not a currency, even though it's either replacing or is a sister element to Iridium. It's not a currency like Iridium is. And then the little hint they dropped is that it could possibly make stuff explode. And with that little hint, here's my running theory. Ordinite is going to recharge your ordnance, which is what they replaced grenades with. Grenades and heavy weapons now go in one slot, which is your ordnance slot. They said grenades are going to have a bigger impact and do more damage than they used to because now they're on a cooldown and you just can't spam them like you used to. Oh, Cookie sent a message. She says she's off the game. Where's my invite?
It's coming. Never mind.
Yeah, whoa. Whoa.
I caught myself. I
Whoa.
caught myself.
Gotta go add my Cookie Monster.
Cookie.
Hey, no, that says Cookie Monster. There's no two O's
Cookie,
there. There's one O.
Cookie.
I don't care that's spelled with a K. It's like Mortal Kombat over here. We're placing C's with K's. It's the Cookie Monster.
I
Anyway.
wonder where she did that last bump off of.
Right, back to the quick recap. There's gonna be lots of vehicle customization, lots of different little chassis and stuff for the vehicles. Of course, player customization. We're gonna be able to customize our little robot that's called Echo 4. Just all kinds of good stuff coming. Whoa.
Title over sex tape.
I can't find the hole. That's a bit concerning if that's the title of your sex tape. That's a very not sexy sex tape if they can't find the hole.
Hi, Cookie.
Here we are finishing up the Borderlands stream here. I was just giving Thomas a quick rundown of all the crap I was talking about that he missed. Yeah, but I think I pretty much covered it all. If I didn't, it's earlier in the stream. People can go back for it. Alright, everybody, this is where we're going to conclude the Borderlands part of the day, and we are going to Phasmophobia now that everybody's reassembled. I hear an echo. This is weird. I see. She's got the thingy. She lost the thingy.
At least it was that thingy and not another thingy.
Yeah.
What about the ones in the nightstand?
All we hear in the background is, "No, I don't want that. Keep it." While Thomas is over here talking about nightstand products. Anyway, guys, before the stream gets any crazier, I'm going to cut this off and switch to Phasmophobia. I'm going to let my dogs out before I start the Phasmo stream. If you guys like what you see, please hit that like and the subscribe button. I stream every day, multiple games.